So the other day was my first day of work. That is some artsy ass boobs. Now, this wasn't my first day of work ever. It was my first day of work at a new job. I think I've said this before. I've worked at a flower shop, then I've worked as a dishwasher. I'm a part-time stripper. I work as a volunteer at a preschool. Then I've recently got a new job as an usher at a theater. So just the other day was my first day on the job. It was a Darius Rucker concert. For those of you who don't know who Darius Rucker is, he is a country singer. You might also know him as Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish. So I've had many first days, as you could tell, as I've told you in my previous jobs, and everyone gets nervous, right? So no matter what, your first day on the job, whether you want to admit it or not, you're going to be a little bit nervous just because it's a new setting and you got a job to do. No one wants to go and mess up on their first day of work, you know? At this theater, I've been to like dozens and dozens of concerts at this theater before. So I know the place pretty well. I actually know the head usher, partially how I got the job, but I was comfortable there, but I was very nervous going there just because I get anxiety, and usually just in different situations. I adjust to it pretty fast, and that's where the fun part of the story comes in. So as I get there, I tell my supervisor, she's like, "You nervous?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, you know, first day on the job, I'm a little nervous." She's like, "That's fine, you'll get used to it, don't even be nervous." So as she says that, I'm like, okay, yeah, she's probably right, but, you know, still, it's just natural instinct to be nervous. I was very, very lucky, though. My first show, I was working the ticket gate. So basically, you just stand at the gate, you greet everyone as they come in, you scan their ticket, and you say, "Enjoy the show." Now, we get some weird people at this theater, obviously. The second person to come in, and I'm still a little nervous, he runs past me. He's pissed drunk. Everyone was in the parking lot getting drunk before this concert. He comes charging right past me. And, you know, I can't let him do that, because then if he didn't have a ticket and he was just trying to be sneaky, I would have got fired or something. And my first day on the job, I'm not getting fired, I promise you that. So I grab his shoulder and I turn him around. I'm like, "Excuse me." Oh my God, do you hear this guy? What the fuck is wrong with him? So when I stop this guy, I kind of get a little nervous. I kind of have my guard up a little bit, like, mentally. Because this guy was obviously drunk, and, you know, people don't control themselves when they're drunk. So the guy turns around and he looks at me, and he just has this blank face on. And he looked so confused. He was just like, and I was like, "Excuse me, you can't just run past me." He's like, "What's the matter?" So I tell him, "I need to scan your ticket." So then, no problem. He takes out his ticket, he hands it to me. He's still standing there, blank expression on his face. He probably trying to figure out where he was. So as I'm scanning his ticket, I look down at the side, and you gotta cover the sun from the ticket. And as I look back at him, he's on one knee with a bottle cap in his hand. He looks me right in the eye and he's just like, "Will you marry me?" For anyone who hasn't had their first job yet that watches this video, I promise you, you don't always get proposed to on your first day. I promise you that's not a normal occurrence. I hand him his ticket, and I just look at him. The dude behind me, my supervisor, he's sitting there, he's looking at me. He's cracking up. He's just like, okay, kid's first person he has to scan tickets for just proposed to him. So he's cracking up. I just look at him, I'm like, "Absolutely, I will marry you." And then his girlfriend, clearly like way more sober than him, she goes, "I am very sorry." I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. I'm engaged to your boyfriend."